All right, everyone, welcome. This is a little coaching session, I guess you could call it, that I may end up putting on YouTube. We'll see how it goes. But I got somebody, I actually did record a game for somebody about a week ago, and he enjoyed it and said it helped him out. So somebody else was looking for some help, and I said, "Hey, I'll watch you record a game." So they sent me record a game, and I'll go into it and touch on a few things here and there, and if it seems interesting, I guess I'll put it on the YouTubes, and you can tell me if you enjoy this style of video or not. We can call, I don't know, the School of the JJ or something. Maybe I'll come up with a cool name. But okay, so we're going to be focusing, I believe, on Hero Elias. Hero Elias, who is the one that wanted me to watch his recorded game. I haven't watched it yet. Um, Looks to me like he's trying to go for like a quick age up by herding the deer and setting everything to gold. But I don't know if I like it because you're going to end up building a storehouse anyway at some point. You might as well just build a storehouse now. It's really not going to slow you down. And doing it this way will actually slow you down later because, I mean, look how much walking time there is. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. It's almost a 10-second route back and forth. And if you figure that they're going to gather almost 1 gold a second, I mean, he's losing 9 resources every trip by doing this. You might as well just build the storehouse. Over here, I don't mind the herding of the deer. I think it can be good in some situations. But where these deer are being killed is not very efficient. I mean, I'm going to say this is kind of the same thing as the granary. You got to consider walking time, or the storehouse over here. You got to consider the walking time. Certainly some of these, yeah, like these here, you're going to be costing yourself a lot of resources just with all the walking back and forth to the point where it's really not worth it. You might as well just build a granary. And we do see the temple coming up here, and it's Hades versus Gaia on, what is this, Savannah, it looks like. We'll fast forward. We don't need to go into, we'll go everything step by step. The other thing that you get by herding with your deer with the scout, you really slow to scout and kind of figure out what the map looks like and what you want to do with it. So one thing you should have done here, or he should have done, garrison. Do quick garrisons. Get a hotkey on your ungarrison so that you can pop your villager out over here, instantly eject him over on this side. Again, it doesn't seem like much, but over time, walking time is very important. And you pop him out and go over here, you'll save resources every time. So are we aging? So we are aging up. We're aging up with Athena. That's pretty standard. Looks like he's going for a Minotaur push here. And watch your idols. You always got to have a timer internally with your idols. This is a lot of idle time. Ooh, yeah, this is... Ooh, yeah, that's... To have this much idle time this early, it's pretty significant. And really, that is a kind of mistake that if players could clean that kind of stuff up, that'll do so much more for them than like getting a fancy build order or really being good with micro. It's kind of the behind the scenes, kind of basic stuff. I kind of refer to them as like unforced errors, where there's no reason they're idle. It's just because the player forgot or wasn't paying enough attention. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. I would like to see the Archaic Age hero being trained while you're aging up. So you can kind of get a presence on the map and kind of maybe steal some of the good relics. This is Watering Hole. Prevent him from getting good relics. So we're going to kind of look at decision making here. So you aged up really fast, red player did. and cut corners in order to do it, but is doing nothing with the fast age up. So essentially there was no point in aging up. Like, why age up that fast? It doesn't matter. So you kind of cut corners just to slow yourself down a little bit, to then further slow yourself down to where it just wasn't worth it. I'm not sure with the random farm here. You know, hunt is faster. You should be hunting. Also, be active with your scout. See what he's doing. You need to know if he's grabbed a second town center or grabbing a second town center. You need to see what units he's making. Is he making an army? Looks like he's making a little bit of an army. But does he have a town center? That's the number one thing you need to find with your scout right now. Is what is his plan? And not really doing that. You're still scouting the map, which is all well and good, but you need to know first off, what is he doing? Otherwise, you're just blindly doing something that may work, may not work. You're kind of at the, you know, you're kind of relying on it to, you know, luckily be good against what your opponent is doing. So, like, you're coming forward here, you have no clue what he's got. This may work. Or it could be kind of disaster if all of a sudden you pops up and now there's all these units here and I don't know why he's running away. He should just fight. And now all of a sudden, yeah, so you just kind of walked into this trap. You had no idea what was going on. And the catapultes wreck everything here. The hero catapultes are all over this. I mean, look how many units have been lost just for literally nothing. I don't know why you didn't keep chasing. Yeah, you gotta resto the units. You'd like to save resto for, you know, a fight. That's okay. Also consider on a map like Watering Hole, where there's so few entries into your base. I mean, nothing over here. Nothing over here. You may want to wall this off. Wall here. Wall here. Wall here, maybe. And then you've got kind of everything wide open. And now he's taking a little bit of a bad fight here, because all of a sudden you've got Toxotes. He had a nice little burst heal. He did. But overall, that ended up not being so good for him because your few Toxotes really helped out there. The question I want to know, because we have not found out yet, does he have a second town center? And he doesn't. He very well could have with kind of, I mean, the game seems to be pretty slow paced. Not a whole lot going on. Which is okay. Yeah, not everybody has to be the speedy expert. You don't have to be super fast to be good. Both players are aging up. We've got some farming here, more farms here. You've got a whole pack of gazelle right here that are very safe. You need to be getting on those. Hunt collects faster than farms. Do we have any sort of eco upgrades? Nice to see the eco upgrades. That's good. A very slow game. A lot of sitting back and just kind of relaxing here. Got these buildings here, we're looking at maybe building an army out. Our blue player is stacking up food. Like a lot of it. You gotta be careful with your resource management. That you're doing something with your resources. Resources in the bank don't do anything for you. Again, right here we've got you still have no idea what the opponent is doing, and that's so scary to me. So scary. You don't know what you're walking into here. You could be walking into the biggest trap. Looks like you're gonna build this town center. No idea what's happening. Let's see what blue's got. Blue also super defensive. Oh my goodness. He is going for the mass hero citizen strategy, which it's something. Very slow to get his town center. And both players are pretty slow. Um, that's a slow-paced game. I do like this wall. The Rhino here is kind of got himself right stuck, wedged right in the middle. And we've got an army coming forward. The army. The Minotaur special is so good. It makes these units do no damage for the longest time. And there's no heroes here, so this is a nice fight for red because there's no heroes. So yeah, as an Atlantean, you always gotta have heroes ready to go. Otherwise, you'll never kill the myth units. This guy, he shot at the zebra here in the middle of the fight. And what may have been a decent fight for blue, if he just had a few heroes, kind of is pretty disastrous for him. Because yeah, no heroes. You always gotta have those heroes. Heavy Taxotes are so good. And now with that fight, Hero Leus is kind of put himself onto the map, getting a very early trade route. Trade is not pop efficient. Trading is very bad. I really don't think I would ever start a trade route in the heroic age. It's just so inefficient. Talking of efficiencies, though, I mean, again, let's get our hunt, our safe hunt. Let's eat that. Let's eat this. Relic, what are we getting here? Temple of Healing. That's a good technology to get. Yeah, get your temples up here. A few more stables. You need to know what he's doing, though. He could be snagging this town center and has no business doing it. So be a little more open out there on the map. Know what he's doing. If that means just sending one unit, around to check. Think about some timings here. So if your gold is starting to run out and you have to move to secondary gold, his too is also probably doing that. So this would be a gold mine to check. This one would be a gold mine to check, which we already know that he was mining on it. This mine might actually be gone. But that gives you a spot to attack. You could be pressuring this. We now have Atlas, which gives us what? Implode, right? This is gone. That gold mine's gone. Let's actually switch to him. And where did he go for gold? So he's off. He has no gold right now. Like, his gold is going to be here. So, like, if you knew right now where he or when he was trying to mine gold, you could win this game. You being red could win this game right now by, you have Underworld, right? Yeah. If you Underworld from here to here, you block his trade route, and you can sit on his gold mine, and now he's gold blocked. I mean, he's putting all these gates up, but it doesn't do anything if you can just jump. And also, Underworld is super good because you can use it to dodge implode. Like, even if you just Underworld from here to here, you still block the gold, and then you can jump in and out. But that's just where, because you don't have any presence on the map, you don't know how you could win the game at this point. So you're just kind of fully building up an army, but not doing anything with it. Like, this army is great, but if you're not doing anything with it, what's the point in having it? And again, it's not like you have to be super active, like high speed, like an expert. All you really need to do is just attack one spot. And if it's the right spot, it can win you the game. And we know partially because we have access to, you know, the revealing the map, but we know where the win is, which is just get right here, and you block his gold, and it's all gone. And without gold, he can't win. Now he's banked tons of gold now, but he didn't have tons of gold banked earlier. And yeah, it's just a point of just be scout on the map and just kind of think about where your win conditions are. Just to kill one of these. Do we see okay, we get another restoration. Nice restoration there. You see the villagers coming over. Nice. Good fight for red here. Blue just kind of behind on the military, it seems. And all these citizens will die. I mean, theoretically, he could have had this town center built long before then. Yeah, you didn't have to chase with that many, but we're getting there. Okay, you got your first line of armory upgrades. Those are almost free. Just this. Getting over here, this is the big prize. Big earthquake. I don't believe earthquake has like a damage cap, so it'll do as much damage as it can possibly do regardless. But so you use earthquake, but then fall back, which kind of begs the question: why use earthquake if you're just going to retreat after it? You know, what's the point? You also have to think, you know, what is my aggression accomplishing here? You know, and I would ask, you know, you just took this nice fight, you just won, you know, did well to win that fight. Why are we not pressing? Used earthquake. Why not press? Why not grab this? I mean, you're at full pop here. You know, you just accomplished something with this fight, which is getting map control, which gets you control of this. But remember, late game, your primary resource is this one right here, population. That's the thing that matters most late game. And you get, what is this? I don't even know now. What, a 50 population swing essentially by you having it instead of him. Which that's huge. If we unreveal, or actually I guess reveal the map, we can see this is where his trade route is. This is where his gold mine is. That's the place to be. Big fight here. A little bit of micro there with the Terma, but it's so hard. Another nice fight for Elias. But don't retreat. Yeah, press your advantage. Look at, you're full pop. He's 193. Now you're 260. You have a trader. Really a pretty nice unit combination, really, for our hero in red. That did a ton of damage there. Was that the... That must have been the Chimera that came in. Anacore, cool. Maybe you would want to use Chimera at this point, though. You have a ton of population. Okay. So this is where you really want to be, especially late game here. I mean, look at this. You gotta have some sort of hotkey set up or use the banners at the top to select all idle military. So that you can make sure they're always in the fight. Because even though you're at 260 and have a huge population advantage, you really don't have a population advantage, at least at the fight, because you got this going on. A lot of units just doing nothing. Like to see some either more. Man, this mana core are good. And the Chimera just wiped. Holy cow. That's a lot of units. You know, this side build's a little scary. Okay, you're getting a fortress up. Yeah, I kind of call these fights just like fights for nothing. Because you got to kind of think about the grand scheme of things, the big picture. By fighting here, what are you accomplishing? Like, what's your goal? Do you just want to win this fight and then do nothing with it? No, you got to press your advantage. You're at 260 to 210 pop. Yeah, there's no way you should lose this game. But you need to kind of successfully, you know, game plan here. And just fighting and winning fights here over and over doesn't really accomplish anything. We're just going to be stuck at this spot. So you want to get over here. Again, close the opponent in. When you have the advantage and have control of the map, there's kind of two ways that you can win. Number one, you can just straight do one full big push. Just push right through the base. Win that way. You got the advantage already with the pop. I'm just going to use that. Just run right through the opponent. But often, the best way to win is kind of slowly tightening the noose, so to speak. And by that I mean take control of the corners. Chop this off from him. Chop this off from him. Gets you an even bigger advantage. I mean, you might just at that point win based on resources rather than military. This is a nice little raid that he's got here. Now your market trade is all going to be idle. I guess you don't really have a whole lot of trade. And we've got, oh, the big implode. I love implode. Let's see how many of these units get out. Separate your cavalry. Get them out. Run them. Run, 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 run. Oh, you didn't run far enough. Oh no, this is a huge implode. You gotta move out. Oh, if you would have just ran all the way out, you would not have lost nearly as much. Whew. 184 pop. Now, if blue pushes his advantage here, because he's currently has the population advantage, he could do some damage here. Yeah, here he comes. Oh my goodness, a whole ton of Hero Murmillos. Get this population back up. You got the resources. But a little slow to get your... Oh, another one. Alright, just to go for the base, I guess. Man, implode is so cool. No more farms. Yeah, that's a big hurt on the economy, and now... Yeah, I don't know. Just the lack of aggression early on is now... You know, the two god powers have just completely destroyed you. But blue's not following up. Look at these resources he has. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. That's crazy. The resource count is nuts. Get the spam going. Or I'd actually kill this building. I'd like to see some. Okay, here they are. The Hippaspis. We have held. Don't have much in the bank though for resources. Like for blue here, he has so many resources. He's got to think that after killing your army, killing your base here, that if he just keeps a fight going, he'll win the war of attrition. I mean, there's literally no reason to not just keep fighting and fighting when you have this many resources. He certainly doesn't want you to get that town center back up. How are we doing for techs? Looks like we got pretty much everything. What about Mr. Blue? Looks like he's got pretty much everything too. Kills this town center. Will he be able to keep it down? My computer is starting to struggle a little bit. Too much going on. Alright, here we go. I was about to say, we haven't seen any sort of like forward builds or anything. Alright, I may have to. I put these settings up a little bit to make this video look better. I have to go back down, I think. Yeah, we're at a scary spot here for Hierolius, because if Blue gets a town center and evens up that pop count, he'll start winning. Because he's got the resources to float a humongous army. May win anyway. As we're looking at resource, population count here. Blue's got another. He'll probably be getting another big god power up here soon too. Yeah, just no resources in the bank. Now it's kind of all falling apart because too slow to start the trade route. Lost it to the destroyers, and then just can't win the war of attrition. Just the army keeps dying, and there's no resources to make it back. You can see not a lot of army in the queue. Down both town centers in the middle, so now we're at even population and just no resources to keep up the fight. He makes all these Murmillo at one time. Alright, now all of a sudden we're back up to 210, 210 though. And Blue didn't press the advantage quite as much as he could have. And now we're going to be even. By the way, if you're ever playing and you're floating this many resources, maybe delete some villagers or something, having that much in the bank just doesn't accomplish anything. I would also say in late game, be careful with like your ranged counter units, because unless you can micro them all the time, they're going to end up just shooting at things that they don't counter. Like you lost all these peltas for nothing. Takes a lot of work to keep on top, and yeah, we're running way out of resources. We're kind of gone. Gotta hope the shades like turn the tide of the battle or something. Getting a Titan. I'm amazed that Blue hasn't built a Titan in all of this. Titan's done, right? Oh, Synapse is building a wonder. Might as well with the millions of resources he had. I'm, again, kind of surprised it took him this long to do it. But yeah, looks like our hero, Hierolius, running out of time. Build a Titan is kind of a last-ditch effort. You can see how far along they've gotten in building here. Good to to have the upgrade for the fire siphon. So we kind of going into the late game here. I mean, I don't think there's any way that Red can kind of pull it back at this point. We can kind of review exactly what went wrong. And what went wrong is that when we had the advantage, 3-2 town centers, or 2-2, or 4-2 town centers, didn't do anything with it. A lot of sitting back, and eventually you lost because the opponent had a better economy and was able to keep winning fights, and then also dropped down 2 implodes that just completely wrecked Red's economy. Wasn't able to, afford wasn't able to afford building the army back. So in a long game like this, with 47 minutes, a lot of things go right, a lot of things go wrong. Can we as a player correct all of them? No, there's no way. So what you look at in a game like this is, 2 or 3 things that you could do differently to change the outcome of the game. And really, for me, there was a very obvious way to change the outcome. And that was a long time ago when I was talking about the gold block. I had Underworld available, had an army. He was out of gold at that point, had just mined all of this and come down here. Could have just Underworlded over to this side and blocked the trade route, blocked the 2 gold mines, and then he had no gold. And it would have been game over right then, right there. So you got to kind of think about, how can I win? Blocking the gold is kind of, I would say, probably the number one way to win. Um, otherwise, if you otherwise, you can get a huge population advantage and just do the big push through because I got the population advantage. I'm 260 pop. I can roll over because you're only 210. Could have done that. You had the advantage. You were close. Use your earthquake. You had the population advantage by like 50 or 60, but retreated back. And then went up again, I think one more time, and then retreated back, and then just sat back here. And then that's, kind of waited for the implodes to finish you off. So yeah, think about kind of the grand picture. How do I win? What can I attack? Where is he weak? And that kind of then falls back further on scouting. If you haven't scouted the opponent, you don't know where his gold mines are, you don't know what gold mine he's on, you can't really figure out how to win because you don't know. So yeah, think about that. That would be the big thing, is kind of consider the map when it comes to trying to win, and use the map, tactically win. Don't go for just a big push, a big build up, and then try to overrun the opponent. Think about the tactics of it. The general strategy is, if I have a bigger army and I can block them from this gold, then I win at the 16-minute mark, 20-minute mark, whatever it was. And that's kind of the biggest, takeaway I would say from here. Probably behind the scenes, if we look at the post game, maybe the timeline, maybe look at, I always like to look at idle villagers. Can tell you a lot about what happened behind the scenes. We've got 17 idle villagers, up 2 more for a span of at least about 4 minutes here. A lot of idle villagers here. Kind of try to think about that too. Your idle villagers. And then at the end fell way behind in economy. But yeah, this area was here. The game was yours for the taking. All through here, just didn't take it. So that's kind of it. I hope this helps a little bit for you as a player, Hero Lias, and for anyone watching. Kind of hope it helps as well. Think about the map as a whole. How can you use the map to win? It doesn't have to be a big push. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Take care.